We're on a pretty good roll of refactoring, so why don't we go ahead and move the XML parsing code into its own method as well. So we'll create this method inside of this class, and I'll put it right below name and password. And this will return an NS string, and we'll call it Twitter result from XML string. It's going to take a string as an argument, and we'll call that XML string. Now we can come down and cut out all of the XML parsing code, and then I'll start with NS error and all the way down to XML document release, and we'll cut that and we'll paste that into our new method. And there's only one thing that we need to change. Instead of using string here, we're going to use XML string, and at the end we need to return the string. And the string that we're going to return is the result. Now all that code is being handled within its own method. So we'll save that, and we're going to come back down to isUserAuthenticated, and right below getting our results back from our execute task at path, we're going to create another string, and I'm going to call this one result as well. It doesn't matter that I'm naming this variable result and that I named the variable up there result as well in our other method, because each one of these variables are local variables and their scope ends when their method ends. So they won't conflict with each other. So here we're going to say self Twitter result from XML string. And the string we're going to give it is our XML string that we just got back from our task. And this is looking much better and easier to maintain. Each method is compartmentalized, so it's handling one specific duty. And our isUserAuthenticated method is easier to read and more clear on what's happening. We've done a lot of refactoring, so we need to build and run and make sure everything's still working. And it looks like we have an error. So I'm going to go up and click on the error, and that'll take me right to where it is in the code. And we can see that I've got arguments here, and I've misspelled it in the method declaration. So I'll correct that. So I need to change it here and in the interface file. I'm sure I did it in both places since I was using copy and paste. And we'll build it again to see if there's any errors. And we got no errors this time, so we'll go ahead and run it. And we'll test it out. I'm using valid credentials this time. And we're showing site down because I still have the internet access turned off. So I'll go turn that on, come right back, and we'll continue testing. Okay, we have internet connection again. And we still have valid credentials. So I'll hit submit. And we can see that I got my name back, my username, so that means everything worked. I'll put in credentials that are not valid. Hit enter. Now we have could not authenticate you. So everything's still working. We can see when the site's down or we don't have internet access. We can correctly determine if a user is authenticated or not. Our next step is to relay all of this information to our user. When we first started out, returning a Boolean value from isUserAuthenticated seemed like a really good idea. The more that the application is evolving, it looks like it would be better if it returned an NS string. Since now we're getting a string value back from our XML parsing. To return that result over to our main controller can determine whether or not the site is down or the user's authenticated or not. And then the main controller will have the ability to keep the user informed of what's happened. So to do this, we only have to make a few changes. The first will change from a bool to an NS string. And we need to come down and remove what we're returning at the bottom. And instead of creating this result string, we'll just return the string that we get back from our Twitter results from XML string. So I'll save that. We also need to go to our interface file and change our declaration for this method. So instead of isUserAuthenticated being bool here, we need to change this to an NS string. And we'll save that. Now we can go back to our main controller, write code there that handles the response it gets from this class.